I wanted to talk to you about failed paintings. I know lots of people think that when you are selling your work and you've got to a level where your paintings are more confident, that every time you pick up your brush you actually end up with a complete painting, but that's really not the case. There are probably, for the number of times I pick up my brush and put brush to paper, probably, if I'm lucky, 25% of them will end up as paintings. Lots of them end up as failed paintings. I've got a big stack of them right next to me here. A lot of the time I'm just experimenting and playing and trying to work out things that I like and learning about new pigments, new materials. So there's a huge amount of time and material that goes into just learning to be more confident with your brush strokes and working out what it is you want to put on paper and how to say what you want to say. So I wanted to show you a painting that was a failure, and I can tell you why. I started it a couple of days ago. I was given a whole bunch of boards for painting, and one of them had a piece of paper taped to it already. And so I thought, oh well, there's a piece of paper there, I'll have a go, I'll try it. And I started out with painting the teasels. I have a tall stand of dried teasels in the corner of my studio that I picked up on a trip out in the countryside. And this was where I started, and initially it all looked lovely. I got these lovely brush strokes, and you can see further down you've got some nice clear crisp marks. But then I realized that when I was trying to do a diffused wash, it wasn't diffusing. The paint was actually leaving marks where I didn't want it to be leaving anything at all. I wanted it actually softly diffuse into the paper. And when I had a look at it, I realized there was a bit of a clue. As I wet the paper, although this was taped down quite tightly to start with, the taper started lifting, and it appears to me that the sizing on the paper, because potentially this paper's been on the board for a long time, I don't know, because it was a bonus sheet that I just decided to have a go at. I think potentially what's happened is the sizing has gone for some reason. Somehow the paper is not the quality, it's not giving me that diffusion that I want. So what to do with it, that's the next question. So I'm not happy with it. I don't think it was going to work as a watercolor. There are a couple of things I could do. I could just use bits of this for collage. I could turn it into a mixed media. I could just experiment and play with it and see if it turns into something that I like, if I add different kinds of media. And I think that's what I'm probably going to do. I'm not going to do it immediately because I've got other things I'm doing. And I will put a full photograph of this painting into my blog post, which I'll link to at the bottom of this, so that you can actually have a good look at the bits of it that worked and the bits of it that weren't so good. And I think what's probably going to happen is I'll use some drawing media. I will use some potentially some acrylics or some inks and get some different textures on it. And I won't be trying to turn this into what I always love in loose, soft watercolors, is that sort of flow of the pigment from one area to another. It's just not working. So rather than battle with it, I'm going to use it in a completely different way. I hope that was helpful.